Yeah, I need to check just to make sure that we get on because of that time. I don't know if it was 2 weeks ago when I was on. I did the whole thing and it didn't come online, so I'm trying to check it. No, I'm not talking to myself. I'm actually talking to you. Here we go. Wow, we've been live for 18 seconds already, and I didn't even know it. Well, there's only one other person that I'm talking to. There's only two people that are looking at it, and I imagine one's my mom. So, and then probably the other's probably me. So, hi. Okay. All right. I'm going to shut it because as I found in this video world, and especially like Zoom and stuff, people were telling me that they look at themselves looking at everybody, which is very strange because actually if you're looking at yourself, you see yourself only looking at yourself. All right, let's leave it behind. Let's begin thinking about our lives. One of the things that, I'm sorry about that, one of the things that's important to think about is our plans for the future, right? Is what are we going to do when we're done with this pandemic? How are we going to go out into the world? Should we think about it a lot? Should we just do it? Like what is the kind of rationale with how one should enter back into the world? And there isn't a fantastic. I mean, it's funny. Today and yesterday, I'm doing midrashim on this moment in the Torah when the Sea of Reeds opens and the Israelites go through. It's not that there's disagreement, but there's lots of different stories as to how that actually happened. What was going on as the Israelites were getting ready to cross the Sea of Reeds, but it hadn't yet opened. How did it in fact open? Was it Moses putting out his arms and calling out for it to open? Was it just him praying on the rock? Was it the Israelites who were praying? Was it from prayer? Was it from action? And what was it from? And there's a very famous story, which I'm sure many of you, the 4 people who are watching this with me, or watching me, the famous story that you have one tribe of Israelites. There's actually 2 versions of this part. You have one tribe of Israelites that are saying, hey, we're going to be the first ones that go into the water. We're going to just go in. We're going to be the first ones. And another group says, wait a minute. We're going to be the first ones that go in. And the other group's like, no. We're going to be the first ones that go in. And they're like, no, we're going to be the first ones. It's like, no, we're going to be the first ones. So there's another version of this where they're like, hey, we're not going to be the first ones to go in. And another group's like, well, we're not going to be the first ones to go in. And then they're like, we're not going to be the first ones to go in. Well, we're not going to be the first ones. And they're arguing that they're not going to be the first ones. Well, however this is happening, there's 2 tribes that are arguing. And then one guy, Nachshon ben Aminadav, from the tribe of Judah, I believe, he is watching them argue and says, enough of this. And he starts walking out into the sea. And it's cold. I mean, it's very cold. And he's walking out, and as he takes one step, it goes higher up on his body. And he takes another step, and it starts going up and up and up, all the way up on his body, and it gets to like here. And first of all, it's cold, right? And he's like, that moment, the Midrash says, he screams out, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you among the gods? And then he takes one more step and it starts coming up. He says, Mi, and he chokes on the seawater. He says, Mi kamocha, like that. And that's why it says Mi chamocha and then Mi kamocha in the prayer from the book of Exodus, this week's Torah portion. And then he's under the water. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. And finally, it starts going down. it starts going down. And if it weren't for Nachshon ben Aminadav taking that leap into the water, we might still be standing on those shores 3,000 years later. And so there are so many parts to that story, first of all, that are intriguing. And so many messages we could glean from it. Number one, this is a nobody. It's not a leader of the community. It's just a lowly person, Israelite. So, lesson number one, no matter what our station, we can do great things. Number two, inaction. Excuse me. Number two is that action causes things to happen. Inaction doesn't. Just talking about it doesn't do it. Just saying I want to doesn't do it. You have to actually make up your mind to go and do the action. And I guess the third one is, sometimes we need to take a leap. We need to take a leap and know that we can do what we need to do. That might be the hardest one. But I think the idea that the Israelites were arguing amongst each other, I want to be the first one to go, and I don't want to be the first one to go, and wait, I want to, this and that, really was just fear. That, did they have the guts to make that first step forward, which is many times the hardest. And that's what Nachshon does. He takes the first step forward. Incidentally, at that same time, they say Moses is hanging out on a rock back there, praying to God. And God's like, hey, Moses, stop praying and do something. But he doesn't, because Nachshon ben Aminadav does. And I think for us, it's really hard to even imagine where we're going to be able to leap. But a leap for us to go into that next thing where we have to be doesn't have to be a leap when the pandemic is done. As a matter of fact, I think that leap for us is our own personal leap forward. That it's been 10 months, almost 11, almost a full year that we've been kind of doing things in a different way, doing things, like held back in so many ways. And yet in so many other ways, a lot of us have kind of opened up and been able to create and do art and do our work and do what we need to do to survive. But there's things that we've been kept from doing. Perhaps now we should start thinking about how we can take some leaps, go beyond where we think maybe we can go. Maybe we think it's impossible to leap where you want to leap. But maybe that's something we need to do. Unless you think that you're not capable, or that you're not smart enough or good enough for whatever it is that you think you're not enough. You are, just as Nachshon was. So, it gives us quite a bit to think about, I think, as we move towards this very interesting time in life. Where will we leap? Do we need to? Where is it we need to? And don't be afraid, because every one of us has the ability to get done, to do the leap, to make change in the world, to make the world better. And the fact is, it can only be done one person at a time, because each individual has to find their own place. And so that's, I think, what we're doing, a lot of what we're doing when we meditate, is to see where our place is, where we are now, who we are now. So Lest you think you're not worthy. You are. Unless you think there's no way to get it done. There is. You just need to take the leap. Let's get into a comfortable position for our quiet time. And remember, we're just concentrating and noticing our breath. We're just breathing normally, not trying to push the breath. Just an easy breath. And we're just finding this present moment. I like to think of it as like sinking into the present moment. Not like the movie Get Out sinking in, but just kind of like sinking down into the chair. There's no place else you have to be. There's nothing else that you have to do for the next 20 minutes. We're just noticing how our breath comes into our stomach or our chest, how it affects our body, and how does your body feel, and notice what's happening in your body and how the breath fills you up and then leaves. Are there colors that you see under your eyelids? Notice where your eyes are looking. Are they looking straight ahead? Are they looking down? Are they looking up? Notice your body position. Let me concentrate just on our natural breath. No need to push it. Just allowing everything to be just as it is for now. in our last 5 minutes or so, call upon certain feelings we'd like. Tuesdays we begin 3 sections of the priestly benediction. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. We do safety on Mondays and Tuesdays because it's that important to feel safe. Safe from illness, safe from danger, safe so you feel safe to share and you feel safe to live and to be yourself. And may I feel blessed. You are blessed. For sure. Now, may you feel it. May we recognize the blessings we have. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed and safe. As we breathe in and out, please use your breath with your voice to ask, may I feel blessed? May I feel safe? May I feel blessed and safe? If you'd like to have someone be in front of you in your mind's eye and offer it to them, may you feel safe. May you feel blessed. May you feel safe and blessed. May you feel blessed and safe. And with each breath, we offer one of those questions. And then just bring it back to yourself. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. And you can present it to the person who you had in front of you. You can say it to yourself out loud or in your mind. May I feel blessed. May I feel safe. May I feel blessed and safe. And for the last few seconds we have together, let's just really go back into the now, our breath. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that in this time you were able to find stillness and peace. May you feel blessed, and may you feel safe.